All right, and I'm back. So, over the weekend, I watched the new HBO Max DC Cinematic Universe spin-off TV show of the Suicide Squad created by James Gunn called Peacemaker. And I have some thoughts, so let's get into it. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
Alright, so like I said, new show, should be interesting, new superhero show, rated R, should be very exciting, HBO Max, James Gunn, it's a spin-off of the Suicide Squad, which wasn't terrible, and so, you know, I had some expectations for this show, I had some hopes, not that many, based off of John Cena, but I had some expectations for the show. It was, you know, let's say, hopeful, and after watching it, I wasn't in love with it, so usually, if you guys have seen me do reviews, usually when I do a TV show and it's what comes out a weekly thing, I do a review per episode and we go through the whole thing. Well, we're not going to do that with this one. Why? Because I'm not in love with the show, for starters, and second, there's nudity in it, and I'm pretty sure that if I accidentally click on, if I put on screen nudity accidentally, I might get in trouble on YouTube and Twitch and stuff, so I'm not going to do it that way. So this one, you're just going to hear a little bit of breakdown. So this is what's going to happen. I'm going to break down the first 3 episodes very quickly, give you my thoughts on it, and then I'll probably keep watching the show, and then I'll give you a review of the end of the season once it's done to see if it's actually worth your time. But before we get into all that stuff, let me just give you a quick reminder that any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Super Dario World on YouTube and on Twitch, streaming live Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 4:30 p.m. That's what I'm aiming for. Sometimes I might do 5 or something. So today I did a little bit early, but I'm aiming for 4:30. The only reason I did early today is because it was my kid brother's birthday, so I got to go down to Mexico and stuff. So I wanted to get this out of the way. But yeah, I'm aiming for 4:30. Well, sometimes I just start a new job, so may not be perfect because apparently I don't get off exactly at 4. But who knows? You know, we'll play it by ear. And if you want to send me something private, so if you want to join me, be a part of the chat, like, subscribe, and all that stuff, that's where you can find me. Any comments, any other comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me on Instagram at Super Dario World and at Dario SDW. Again, like, subscribe, follow, all that stuff. It really helps me out. But let's get into the TV show Peacemaker. So like I said, the show starts John Cena as Peacemaker. And for those of you who don't know who Peacemaker is, he's a DC character, an anti-hero, you could say, who was introduced in the newest to make like a good Suicide Squad movie, and it was overall okay. The movie was watchable. It had its moments. I just had a few issues with the excessive comedy, and one of the characters in that movie was John Cena as Peacemaker, and so he's not exactly a douchebag Captain America, but kind of close. Like imagine more of a closer way to. So the dude's a psychopath, pretty much, but he has good intentions in a really fucked up way. But anyway, so that's what that character is. And I'm really concerned about the internet right now. I'm probably not even streaming. This is really annoying. I don't know what's been happening in Mexico and in the United States. The internet just keeps fucking up. So I may actually have to wait to do this till 5 p.m. Who cares? Whatever. I'll just finish here because, again, I got stuff to do. I got places to go, people to see. Anyway, so the show starts John Cena and a few other characters that were introduced in. Mainly, you'll remember some of the agents that handled the members of the Suicide Squad. Plus, they introduced a few new characters, like this guy, I believe his name's Agent Merm. Juicy from Orange is the New Black. This guy's called Vigilante, and Eagly, who is Peacemaker's pet eagle. So, bald eagle. So, overall, I mean, it's a rated R. That gives it an advantage because it gets to be a little bit more violent, a little bit more gory, and that's always good. When I usually always prefer rated R stuff because it makes it more interesting. The soundtrack for the show is a lot of fun. It's basically, you know, James Gunn is really good with soundtracks, which is basically a playlist from the 80s. Pick good songs. So all that's enjoyable. You could see that it's not a cheap show. Some of the fights are a little bit campy, but it's fine. Overall, it's fine. The big issue that I have with this show, and the reason why I did not fall in love with it, is the same reason why I did not love James Gunn's Suicide Squad. And that's it tries too hard to be funny. It's too many jokes all the time, and it's extremely, extremely annoying. It's trying too hard. It's you're watching somebody who's just trying way too hard to be funny, and it doesn't work because not all the jokes land, and so you got a lot of wasted time on screen of characters just talking about stupidity. It's really annoying to watch because, again, it doesn't feel normal. It doesn't feel natural. This show kind of feels more like it should have been a cartoon. As a cartoon, maybe you could accept certain things, but it tries really hard. You ever been with somebody who really wants to get your attention, so they try over and over again to be funny, be the center of attention and everything, and they're just annoying? That's kind of what this show felt like to me. It felt annoying at times, and it had some good jokes in it, and some of them did land. But there's so many, and most of them suck that it becomes difficult to watch. Let's just say it becomes difficult to watch at points. However, is it enough to make the show completely and totally unwatchable? No. Like I said, some of them do land. It's just too ridiculous. The biggest issue that the show has, and I mean by far, massive issue that I have, is that every single character in this show is a dumbass. And I mean capital D, capital U, capital M, capital B, capital A, capital S, capital S. Dumbass. Everybody and their mother, even the eagle, is a total dumbass in this show. And I hate it because there's an actual interesting story there. There's an actual interesting situation there. The problem is that most of the situations or the stories in this show exist only because everybody is a dumbass. Everybody is a fuck up, and it's super annoying. Extremely annoying, because to me, it's always like the worst. It's the worst way of writing something. And now, I can be very forgiving with comedies when everybody's a dumbass because it's one of those situations. But this is supposed to be taking place in the real world. This, well, the real DC world, where it's supposed to have its feet on the ground. It's supposed to be filled with very capable, highly trained people. But everybody is a dumbass. In fact, there's a line from one of these characters who calls another character, like, "What, are you an idiot? Like, are you a moron?" Just yelling at the other person's face. Because they are. Every single one, none of them have more than 2 brain cells in their brain. It's beyond fucking annoying. So I guess I could give you a few examples here. Like I said, even the eagle is a dumbass. It's ridiculous. Now, it's not bad that there's a show filled with dumbasses, because there's, I watched Dumb and Dumber, hysterical. The problem is, the thing that made Dumb and Dumber work is that there was normal people in there too. You have to have like the straight guy, and you have to have the dumbass, or everybody's got to else be straight, and you got dumbasses there. So you got to have some kind of balance. When everybody's a dumbass, it's just annoying. Like Beavis and Butthead, total dumbasses, but it's funny because of the interactions with the rest of the world. So it's the contrast thing. Here, it's just everybody makes the dumbest fucking decision possible. And I get it. Sometimes, the main character is a piece of shit, and you kind of have to exploit it, but sometimes it's just, the situation is just too ridiculous and just too stupid that it's not even that funny. That's to me the biggest issue. Like, for example, there's a character here who I would be like, okay, this guy is fine if he's a total weirdo and dumbass, and that would be Vigilante. Love the guy. He's hysterical. He has a really fucked up logic, but the logic works within the world. And again, total dumbass, highly capable, over the top ridiculous, but you believe him because he plays that character straight. With John Cena, on the other hand, it don't believe it because he tries to be serious and at the same time a total piece of shit. And honestly, to me, the character of Peacemaker it's like John Cena wanted to be Stifler but just couldn't do it. You remember Stifler from American Pie? Guy who's like, he might be a total dick, but he's our dick. I think that's how the character should have been. But John Cena just plays him out as a big baby. He's just a big baby, a big man child. And it's, again, really annoying because it's like you're a grown-ass man and you're just being a dumbass. And you're not even that capable. And it's annoying. It's really annoying for me to watch. Because, again, conversations that had no sense just took place, and they took a really long time. Like, the show begins with John Cena speaking to a random janitor about him not being racist. And about Aquaman fucking fish. So you're like, what the fuck am I watching here? What is happening? What is this? Is this Clerks? Am I watching Clerks? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this show supposed to be? And so, like I said, it's really stressful because I hate when people write that way. I hate when a story happens just because everybody's a dumbass when they're supposed to be highly capable individuals. But no, the only reason why there's even a show is because, again, everybody's a dumbass. If it wasn't for that, then there wouldn't be a story, I guess. Or you know what? You actually could have written interesting complications they could have gone through. Like if you had everybody else here play it straight, like this, like Morn, I think that's the name, Morn, if he actually would have been highly capable, useful spy or whatever, if Juicy would have been actually useful, or if everybody else is like highly trained in something, and then you got the wild card, which is John Cena, who's just, you know, a loose cannon, again, kind of a dumbass, but gets the job done, then it's like, okay, that could be fun, you know? But the problem is it's a dumbass on top of a dumbass on top of a dumbass, which is just too much. It's too much dumbassery, okay? I'm a fan of dumbasses, but just it's too much. And I'm trying to take this show seriously, but I can't. So, like I said, maybe it finds its rhythm later on, and that's why I'm probably going to do a review at the end of it. I'll give it a chance for another few episodes, but right now it's just like, I didn't love it. I didn't love it enough to review it. I didn't love it enough to go through it. Now, a part of me did want to go through it because it's like, hey, there's a lot of things here that I could just rip apart. Like, this makes no fucking sense. This is a plot hole. This is just stupid. This is a massive waste of time. Why are we talking about fucking, again, Aquaman fucking fish? Why are we doing that? And again, it's not even that funny. That's the problem. You put in a conversation there that had nothing to do with anything, and you're thinking it's funny, but I don't know, it's not landing. Maybe I'm bitter. Maybe the problem is that I'm bitter. Maybe I'm the issue here. Or maybe it's just bad fucking writing, and again, you're just trying too hard to be funny. This show tries way too hard. I don't know how hard this show tries. The opening is a dance sequence. So the opening of the show is everybody with a straight face is doing a bunch of ridiculous dance moves. And I guess it's trying to be an anime, because anime sometimes do that in closing, but this is just beyond fucking bonkers. It's like, what the hell am I even watching here? What is this? Why are the supposed bad guys just, you know, doing a little dance? Is it supposed to be funny? I guess I don't get it. Again, this could be me. I could be the bitter guy. I could be like, man, I'm like just the bitter old man, Dario. Like, you just can't enjoy anything. Or it could just be that this fucking sucks, because it's beyond stupid and ridiculous, and it's not even ridiculous in a fun way. It's not even like over the top ridiculous. It's at the weird point where it's trying to be serious that it just comes out as, again, stupid, not in a great way. Does that make sense? Like, there's a gray area. Like, there's a point where you're like, okay, this show's completely over the top. Doesn't matter. I can't take it seriously, and I'm not supposed to. And then there's a line where it's okay, up to this point, this is serious stuff. This show is right in the middle of that, and it doesn't work. At least for the first 3 episodes, it doesn't work. We're trying to point out how ridiculous some of these things are, and I'm taking you out of it. It keeps taking you out of the situation that's actually could be kind of interesting because of the jokes and pointing out the ridiculousness and just having dumbass conversations that had no point. Like, for example, something that really had no reason to be shown. One of Juicy's character, I forget her name, but to me she's always going to be Juicy from Orange is the New Black. Juicy is a lesbian, and she accidentally shows everybody a picture of her wife's vagina because it was there on her iPad. And you're like, did that really have to be there? Did it? I mean, I don't hate it, but it's one of those things like, what was how does this help the story? What does this tell us about the character other than she's a dumbass? Why is it that learning about WhatsApp and how it accidentally saves stuff into your memory, how is that useful for this show? And was the joke even that funny? Like, is it? I don't think so. Again, it could be just bitter old me, but it doesn't work. There's a few things that do work, and it works pretty well. Again, there's a few jokes that actually land, and they built upon them, and overall, it's like, okay, I did get a chuckle, but it's just too many. It's too many. It tries too hard, and I don't know what DC's doing here, because they didn't have to do this. First off, they didn't really need this show, because is John Cena really like a leading guy? I don't see it. Honestly, I don't see it. I don't know if he has what it takes to carry his own show. And honestly, based on the fact that he's not even the best part of a show, I'm going to say no. But it's one of those things like, maybe with just modifying. Honestly, this show would have been better with Sean William Scott. The more that I think about it, with Stifler, this show would have been way better, because that guy actually can carry a franchise. And he's right in that line of dumbass, total dick, but in a funny way with a lot of heart. John Cena's just not there. John Cena he plays it as a big baby, and not even in like the Wilson Fisk type of big baby where you're scared of him. No, it's just nobody takes him seriously. Nobody respects him. Nobody's scared of him, and he's supposed to be a highly trained, highly dangerous killer, but you can't take him seriously because he's a dumbass, and everybody just shit talks him and whatever. And again, there was like a whole bit of him worried that he might have dick cancer. Why? I don't know. Like butterfly dick cancer. And you're like, I mean, dropping it once, okay, fine, whatever, because it's a ridiculous thing. But they just keep trying to make it work. They're trying to make fetch work. Fetch is not going to work, okay? Fetch is not a thing. It's not going to be a thing. Why are you trying so fucking hard? This show has actual potential. Like I said, the situation's interesting enough. Here's basically the situation. John Cena, as you guys remember, he was in the Suicide Squad. He survives at the end because of, I don't know, bullshit, but whatever. He got shot in the clavicle and had a building fall on top of him, but he survives. And so when he gets released, the Suicide Squad basically is like, hey, well, you're going to keep working for us. Well, not the Suicide Squad, but the agency that had the Suicide Squad. Anyway, they're like, yeah, you're going to keep working for us. Otherwise, we're going to blow up your brain. And here's what you're going to do. You're going to follow us and you're going to kill a bunch of people. And the people that you're going to kill, we're going to call butterflies. So a special group of people called butterflies. Now, what's a butterfly? That's part of the show. It's part of the mystery. You kind of have to go through it in order to understand that. But that's basically what he's hired to do, or what he's being forced to do. Instead of being in prison, he's going to be outside murdering people on behalf of Agent Waller. But in this case, it's not Agent Waller. It's Myrn who's running the operation, and they're all looking after, and they're all trying to catch the butterflies. That's it. That's the situation of the show, and that's interesting, right? That could be fun. You got a anti-hero out there who thinks he's doing good, but he's actually a psycho, and he's being used as an assassin, and he doesn't really want to be an assassin because he thinks that he's actually the good guy, and that people just misinterpret what he's doing, all that stuff. It could be an interesting situation. You had a psychic there who's a total psychopath and definitely just 100% cartoon, but he plays it straight as the cartoon, so it makes sense. You got the highly capable tech guy. You got the liaison for the agency, who's a deadly hot chick, and you got the old vet, kind of like the Nick Fury guy there, who's again super highly capable, not ridiculous, and makes sure that everybody stays in line. That could work. Imagine having a stone-faced guy there, like trying to have a serious conversation, plan a serious project, and you got John Cena there in the background being a dumbass. That works out because one's annoying the other, and one's like, man, what the fuck? I'm getting too old for this shit. So it could work. It's just the problem that, as I said a million times, everybody in the show is a dumbass. And I mean, even the extras, the background actors, everybody is a dumbass. And nobody takes this guy seriously. And again, this is a killer. This is supposed to be a highly trained, highly dangerous killer. And people are just treating him like a piece of trash. You know who you don't treat like a piece of trash? Somebody who kills people. You know why? Because this fucking psychopath. So, like I said, overall, the show, good music. It's rated R. It's fun at points. It's just too over the top. It tries too hard. It should have been a cartoon. John Cena is not as good as Sean William Scott would have been, in my humble opinion. So, am I going to keep watching it? Sure. Am I going to do a review episode by episode? Not really, and it's mainly because there's nudity in it, and I'm not sure if I can actually do this in a way that I won't get in trouble. So maybe at the end of this, if I keep watching it, by the end of the season, I'll give you like a full season review, because maybe they can turn it around. But overall, not great. Not a great start. If it wasn't because I'm a DC fan, I probably would not have continued watching this show, to be honest. Is it on par with other shows? Maybe. Like, it's better than Supergirl and Batgirl and all that stuff. Is it better than Arrow? I don't think so. Is it better than The Flash? Not yet. Because again, you don't really care about the characters. Here's the thing. You don't really care about the characters because they're all a bunch of dumbasses. And it's not even like a dumbass with a lot of heart. That's the issue. So you're kind of like, yeah, you kind of deserve it because you're a piece of shit. So, and it's not even like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where they're all, or Seinfeld where they're all pieces of shit, but you like them. So maybe they'll turn around. I'll keep you posted because I will probably continue watching it. But right now, I don't feel like I'm missing anything. And it sucks because this show's set up like to go for multiple seasons. So hopefully they get it turned around. Hopefully they get their shit together. And hopefully John Cena becomes a better actor because Jesus Christ, he's not, honestly, I don't think he has what it takes to lead. At least he's not terrible. He's not the worst I've ever seen. I just think he doesn't have it yet, or at least for this one. I don't think so. But anyway, that seems like a good place to stop. So as always, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Super Dario World on YouTube and on Twitch, streaming live Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 4:30 p.m. If you want to join me, if you want to be a part of the conversation, all that stuff, that's the easiest way for you to contact me. If you want to send me something privately, you can always do that on Instagram at Super Dario World and at Dario SDW. Like, subscribe, follow, all that stuff. I really appreciate it. It really helps me out. Mondays and Fridays are still wild cards. I'll probably just pre-record something, or I don't know. Well, I'll see how it goes because, again, my schedule is kind of a mess, but I know those 3 days for sure should be fine. But as always, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you again next time.